Have you ever felt like, in an instant, everything could change? That maybe the answer to your life's biggest question is closer than you think. 5 minutes. That's all it takes to transform the course of your story, but only if you're willing to listen to what I'm about to share with you. This is not an exaggeration, nor is it a trick. What you're about to discover could be the difference between living on autopilot and taking full control of your destiny. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this, a version of yourself, 1 year from now, looking back and thanking you for the decision you're about to make today. This version of you has overcome fears, broken through barriers, and achieved what once seemed impossible. Now, imagine something else. What if nothing changes? What if, a year from now, you're in the same place, facing the same struggles, carrying the same weight you feel today? The truth is, life is calling you. A sign that it's time to stop delaying, stop doubting, and start acting. In the next few minutes, you'll understand why you've arrived at this moment and how you're just one step away from changing everything. Not by chance, but by choice. Your choice. So stay with me, because what's coming next could be the beginning of something extraordinary. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your efforts, something always seems to hold you back? Maybe you've set goals, planned every detail, and yet you feel stuck, like you're walking in circles. That frustration you feel is more common than you think, but what most people don't realize is that it hides a secret. There's something working behind the scenes, an invisible force shaping your reality, for better or worse. Think about it. How many times have you doubted yourself, feeling like you're not enough? How many opportunities have you let slip away because fear spoke louder? Without even realizing it, you might be carrying burdens that aren't yours, influenced by beliefs that keep you trapped in a comfort zone that's really a disguised prison. And the scariest part? All of this happens so subtly that you don't even notice its real impact on your life. Now, reflect on the most challenging moments you've ever faced. Those times when it felt like your world was falling apart, when hope seemed distant, and exhaustion took over. Maybe in those moments, you believed you were alone, that the universe had turned against you. But what if I told you that even in those moments, there was a hidden opportunity? A chance to see beyond the chaos, but one that required something you might not have been ready to give, your decision to act. This is the central conflict of your journey, the battle between staying in the comfort of a predictable life and taking the leap of faith needed to embrace something greater. And what's at stake isn't just your present but the future you're capable of creating. What you don't see right now is that everything around you, the struggles, the barriers, even the mistakes you've made, is trying to teach you something. It's preparing you for something bigger, but it's up to you to decide if you're ready to hear that lesson. This is where many people give up, because facing this conflict requires courage. Courage to admit that something's wrong, to accept that you need to change, and to take the first step into the unknown. But here's the truth few have the courage to tell you: the greatest obstacle isn't in the world around you. It's within you, in the stories you tell yourself, the excuses you accept, and the limits you believe are real. The question is, are you willing to face that? And then, at the peak of this internal chaos, something emerges that you might not have noticed before. It's subtle, almost imperceptible, but it's always been there. A force that, even without you asking, has been guiding your steps, opening paths where there seemed to be none. This force could be an unexpected moment of inspiration, a person who enters your life at just the right time, or even a thought that stops you in your tracks and makes you reconsider your choices. Now, think about the moments when everything seemed lost, but suddenly, something changed. Maybe it was advice you heard, a decision you made on impulse, or a detail that seemed insignificant at first but turned out to be the turning point. These weren't coincidences. These were signs that something greater is working behind the scenes, aligning the pieces to take you where you need to be. But there's a crucial detail that few understand: this force cannot do everything alone. It can open doors, but it's you who needs to walk through them. It can show you the way, but it's you who needs to take the next step. And this is exactly where many people fail. They wait for things to simply happen, without realizing that true transformation only occurs when you choose to act in tandem with this force. Imagine you're holding a compass. It points you in the direction, but it cannot take you to the destination. You have to walk. And as you walk, you notice something curious: each step you take strengthens your connection with the force that's guiding you. It's as if it's been waiting for you, patiently, until you decided to trust. And this trust, at first, is not easy. It's challenging to believe in something you can't see, touch, or fully explain. But here's where the greatest secret lies: the biggest changes happen when you choose to believe before seeing the results. When you decide it's worth trying, even when all evidence seems to say otherwise. Now, look at your life as an incomplete puzzle. The pieces are scattered, some seem to fit but others are out of reach. That force is there, by your side, helping you put the pieces together, but it needs something from you. It needs you to accept to look beyond the momentary chaos and trust that, in the end, all the pieces will make sense. And it's in that moment of revelation that you realize, you're not alone in this journey. There's a hand extended, an opportunity for transformation, but the next move is yours. Are you willing to extend your hand back? Because the truth is this: the force that's been guiding you is waiting for your decision to collaborate, to believe, and to act. And when you do, everything can change. Now that you've recognized the presence of this force by your side, the next challenge arises with even more intensity. It's as if, by taking the first step, the weight increases. The challenges that once seemed big now transform into nearly insurmountable mountains. You feel the impact in every part of your life: doubts, insecurities, fear of failure. And the question that echoes in your mind is simple, yet paralyzing: can I do this? Imagine walking down a foggy road. You know there's something important ahead, something that could change the course of your story, but with every step, the fog seems to grow denser. Your vision becomes limited, the path appears more dangerous, and the temptation to give up grows with every second. It's at this moment that many stop. They look at the invisible wall ahead and think, it's not worth continuing. But what if I told you that this wall isn't the end? It's just a test. A test to see how far you're willing to go to achieve what you desire. Every resistance you feel isn't there to stop you, but to strengthen you. Because deep down, this force that's by your side doesn't work alone. It's preparing you, shaping you, so you'll be ready to cross the next obstacle. Think about the moments when you were on the verge of giving up but decided to keep going. That project that seemed impossible but, in the end, brought you an unexpected victory. Or that relationship that seemed lost, but was revived because you chose to fight for it. These situations are proof that you're capable of going beyond what you imagine. But there's a price. You must persist, even when everything inside of you screams to stop. Now, visualize this invisible wall in front of you. It's made up of your fears, your insecurities, and all the stories you've told yourself about what's possible or not. The force that's been guiding you is on the other side, calling you, encouraging you to take the next step. But to cross, you need to do something that few have the courage to do: trust. Trust isn't just believing that everything will work out. It's continuing even when you have no guarantees. It's accepting that the path may be difficult, but the reward is worth every effort. Because deep down, you know that what's at stake is far greater than the momentary fear. It's your life, your story, and the impact you can make on the world around you. And as you face this challenge, something begins to change within you. The tension that once seemed unbearable now transforms into determination. You realize you're no longer fighting alone. The force that's been guiding you begins to act even more clearly, moving pieces you didn't even know existed. But here's the crucial point: this force can only help you as far as you allow. And now, your destiny is in your hands. What will you do? You're at the partial climax of your story, where the decision to continue or stop will determine everything that follows. The next move is yours. This is the moment where everything converges. The doubts, the fears, the force that has guided you this far, it's all in front of you now, waiting for a choice. And the truth is, there's no escaping it. The path that brought you here was built to lead you to this decision. What you do from here will not only determine the course of your life, but also the impact you'll leave on the world. Imagine you're holding two keys. One represents the safety of the known, the comfort of not risking, of keeping everything as it is, even if it means letting go of your dreams. The other key represents the courage to venture into the unknown, to face your greatest fears and accept that the process may be painful, but it's the only way to achieve what truly matters. This choice isn't easy. You may feel the weight of doubt on your shoulders, the inner voice trying to convince you that giving up is simpler. But deep down, you know that what's at stake is much bigger. This decision isn't just about one moment, it's about who you choose to be from this point forward. Every step you've taken so far has been to prepare you for this choice. Think about all the times you let fear dictate your actions. Remember how it felt to live with the sense that something was missing, that you weren't heading in the right direction. Now, imagine how liberating it would be to break that cycle. To choose courage over fear. To open the door to a future you can't fully imagine, but know is possible. The force that has guided you this far is by your side, but now it can no longer act alone. It needs you to take the next step. It's like standing in front of a slightly open door. You can see a glimpse of what's on the other side, but you need to decide to push the door open and walk through it. No one can do this for you. This is the point where many hesitate. They feel the pressure, the fear of failure, and wonder, what if I'm not enough? But here's the truth, you already are enough. The force that brought you here didn't choose you by chance. It saw what you're capable of, even when you doubted yourself. Close your eyes and visualize this moment as a milestone in your story. The moment you choose to trust yourself and the process. The moment you decide that, no matter how difficult it is, you're willing to take the next step. Because you know that your life is waiting for it. Now it's your turn to act. The next move is crucial, but it depends entirely on you. Take a deep breath, look at the invisible wall in front of you, and take the step that will bring it down. The force is with you, but the choice is yours. What decision will you make? Now, with everything in front of you, it's time to reflect on the journey that brought you here. Every choice you made, every step you took, even the uncertain ones, was part of a greater plan. You might not see it clearly now, but when you look back, you'll realize that every obstacle was a disguised opportunity, every mistake a silent teacher, and every doubt a bridge to self-discovery. What you decide today doesn't only affect your present. It shapes who you will become and how the world around you will be impacted. Yes, you are creating your story, but it also intertwines with other stories, people who may be inspired, touched, and even transformed by your decision to act now. Imagine how many lives can be illuminated because you chose courage over fear. You may still feel the weight of uncertainty, but there's something powerful in knowing that the simple act of deciding is, in itself, a victory. The force that has been with you so far will continue by your side, but remember, it can only help you as long as you keep moving forward. Your choice to act, to take that next step, is what activates everything that's been prepared for you. Think about this, the future you dream of isn't as far away as it seems. It's built minute by minute, decision by decision. And now, at this moment, you have the chance to align your steps with the destiny you desire. Don't let fear or doubt steal this opportunity. Because, just like time doesn't wait, the doors that open today may not stay open forever. So, make the commitment to yourself. Choose to believe in the process. Choose to act, even when the path seems uncertain. And above all, choose to trust that everything you need is already inside of you. The force that brought you here wasn't wrong, you are capable of much more than you imagine. And as this video comes to an end, I want you to take this with you. The power of change isn't something you'll find in the external world. It's within you. The moment you decide it's time to transform your life, that it's time to trust yourself, is the moment everything begins to align. Life is waiting for your next decision. Opportunities are ready to reveal themselves. But it all starts now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. The question is simple, but powerful. Are you ready to take that step and change the course of your life forever? Remember, what you do today may be what defines your tomorrow. So, go ahead. Your journey is just beginning.